Welcome to our Bible quiz channel. Here, learning about the Bible is fun and full of meaning. Start thinking, how many questions will you get right today? And at the end, tell me which one moved you the most. Let's get started. Who was the apostle to the Gentiles? A. Peter. B. John. C. Paul. D. James. Correct answer, C. Paul. Verse, Romans 11 verse 13, For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry. Paul was called by God to be the apostle to the Gentiles, bringing the gospel to non-Jews and spreading Christ's message beyond Israel's borders. He traveled extensively, founded churches, and wrote letters that became a cornerstone of the New Testament. Which prophet foretold the Babylonian exile? Jeremiah. B. Isaiah. C. Ezekiel. D. Amos. Correct answer, Jeremiah. Verse, Jeremiah 25 verse 11, And this whole land shall be a desolation and a waste, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Jeremiah was the prophet who detailed the coming Babylonian invasion and Judah's exile. He warned about the need for repentance and obedience to God, also prophesying restoration after 70 years in captivity. What role did Joshua have when Moses sent him to Canaan? Spy to scout the land. B. Governor of the tribes of Israel. C. Military leader against enemies. D. Priest to offer sacrifices. Correct answer, spy to scout the land. Verse, Numbers 13:16, These are the names of the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Joshua the son of Nun, Hosea. Joshua was one of the 12 spies sent by Moses to explore Canaan. He and Caleb brought back a positive report, trusting God would give the land to Israel, while the other spies spread fear with a negative report. Who wept bitterly over the death of his ambitious son, Absalom? David. B. Solomon. C. Saul. D. Eli. Correct answer, David. Verse, 2 Samuel 18 verse 33, Then the king was deeply moved and went up to the chamber over the gate and wept. And as he went, he said, O my son Absalom! My son Absalom! If only I had died in your place, O Absalom, my son, my son! Despite Absalom's rebellion, David mourned his son's death deeply. Though Absalom had rebelled against him, David felt the immense pain of losing his son, whom he loved despite his actions. For how many days did the Israelites march around the city of Jericho? 3 days. B. 5 days. C. 7 days. D. 10 days. Correct answer, C. 7 days. Verse, Joshua 6 verse 15, But it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early, about the dawning of the day, and marched around the city 7 times. In the same manner, on that day they marched around the city 7 times. God commanded Joshua to have the Israelites march around Jericho once a day for 6 days, and on the 7th day, march around it 7 times. When the trumpets sounded and the people shouted, the walls of Jericho fell, giving victory to Israel. How did Moses' mother save him from the Egyptian soldiers? A. Placing him in a basket and leaving him by the Nile River. B. Running away with him to another city. C. Asking Pharaoh for protection. D. Hiding him in her house until he grew up. Correct answer, placing him in a basket and leaving him by the Nile River. Verse, Exodus 2 verse 3, But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, daubed it with asphalt and pitch, and put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. When Pharaoh ordered all Hebrew boys to be killed, Moses' mother, Jochebed, couldn't hide him anymore. She made a basket of reeds and placed it in the Nile River, where Pharaoh's daughter found and adopted him. Who took over Moses' ministry after his death? Joshua. B. Caleb. C. Samuel. D. Eli. Correct answer, A. Joshua. Verse, Deuteronomy 34 verse 9, Now Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands on him, so the children of Israel heeded him and did as the Lord had commanded Moses. After Moses' death, Joshua was chosen by God to lead the Israelites into Canaan. He was commissioned to follow Moses' steps and lead the people to the promised land. What was Paul's original name? Simon. B. Saul. C. James. D. Judas. Correct answer, B. Saul. Verse, Acts 9 verses 1-2, Then Saul, still breathing threats and murder against the disciples of the Lord, went to the high priest. Before his conversion on the road to Damascus, Paul was known as Saul. He was a fierce persecutor of Christians until he had a divine encounter with Jesus, which changed his life and his name to Paul, marking his new mission as an apostle. What does the name Sarah mean? A. Princess. B. Mother of the Jews. C. Lady. D. Blessed. Correct answer, A. Princess. Verse, Genesis 17 verse 15, Then God said to Abraham, As for Sarai your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. The name Sarah means princess or lady, and was given to her by God, reflecting her role as the matriarch of Israel. She was Abraham's wife and Isaac's mother, with whom God fulfilled his promise to make a great nation. Which of David's sons became king after his death? Solomon. B. Adonijah. C. Absalom. D. Amnon. Correct answer, A. Solomon. Verse, 1 Kings 2 verse 12, Then Solomon sat on the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was firmly established. Solomon, David's son with Bathsheba, was chosen to succeed him as king of Israel. Although Adonijah claimed the throne, Solomon was anointed and became the legitimate king, blessed by God with wisdom and prosperity. He was also responsible for building the Temple of Jerusalem. If you enjoy our content, a simple way to support us is by shopping through the Amazon link in the description. No extra cost to you, but it makes a big impact on our channel. Thanks for the love. Congrats for making it to the end. Your dedication to the word makes all the difference. Tell me in the comments, did you learn something new today? Keep your spiritual journey going with the other quizzes we've lovingly prepared. Your presence here means a lot.